Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis, and the excitement hit early. I don't know who broke the silence early, if it was another platform who posted the trailer or what, but basically I knew I was good to go because Bungie has premiered the trailer on their website, or on their YouTube channel. The website is up. So what I'm going to do, this video is going to be a breakdown of the Witch Queen trailer, going over certain pieces of it, what we see, kind of what we gather from the story and everything like that. I'm going to play through the trailer once, and then we're going to kind of go frame by frame, talk about little pieces that I find important. My other video that I'm going to probably upload in the morning to give you guys something to watch before the season goes live is going to go through the pieces of the website that we get that talks about story behind it, show some of the armor moments. We've got Season Pass, we've got confirmation of Solar 3.0, which, spoiler alert, it's there. Some very cool moments in there. You get to see the different activities we're going to be doing, and some really, really cool like story beat ideas that had been speculated for a while. So if you guys want to see that video tomorrow before the season goes live, make sure you subscribe, hit that alert bell. You'll see that one in the morning. But if you're watching this now, the other one's going to go up about 9 a.m. Central Time, about 3 hours before reset. So I'm going to play this trailer first. I'm going to be quiet, and then we're going to talk about it. But first, you get to enjoy it. So I'm going to turn the volume up, and I'm going to be quiet.
The lunar pyramid stirs to the Leviathan's call. It manifests our deepest regrets. Where once we banished the nightmares, a new terror rouses them from their slumber. We will not cower in fear of nightmares. We will rise to meet the enemy and confront our darkest fears with open eyes. The nightmares are converging in your location. Begin the harvest. And so you become an eater of fear. Magnificent. It is the beginning of the end.
So a little bit of hype involved in that one. All right, now I'm going to turn the volume down a decent amount so as I kind of play through this thing, it's not quite as loud, but the idea here is we start out and we literally see the moon. And as we go forward a little bit, we have the Leviathan, which was taken out of the game for, well, it was Beyond Light, it was removed, so we've gone 5 seasons without the Leviathan in the game. And the Leviathan is Calus' ship. Now, chat will probably correct me if I'm completely wrong, but Calus tried to commune with the darkness using the big skull on the Glycon from the mission that we had from Season The Chosen, the exotic mission, like the alien scary one. And theoretically, we don't know how well that one went. It's not really confirmed whether he's alive or dead at this point. One piece of lore says that he's alive, one piece of lore says that he's dead. But the ship is come back into the atmosphere. It was kind of removed. So we've got those pieces going on. And the Leviathan is basically a big planet eater. If you didn't play early on in Destiny, Crown of Sorrow. Yep, the Crown of Sorrow is what it's called. Thank you, chat. If you didn't play early on in Destiny, Leviathan was the very first raid. Big, giant, gold, planet-eating ship is what this thing is. And it's been attracted to the moon. Now, as we proceed forward, I'll take little breaks here and there. Now, there's one little piece I want to talk about. The top of the screen, up above, you're going to notice, like, right in this region up here, that looks like another ship. And we're actually on that. Now, if you want to know exactly what I'm talking about there, because it's not really shown here, I'm going to tell you what that is in the other video. And if you want to know what it is, subscribe. I'll tell you what that one is. If you know already, cool. But The fact that this actually exists up here, I'm actually really excited to see that. So that's explained very clearly when it comes to the website, so I'll go over that in that separate video. I'm trying to keep these two somewhat separate. Now, here is like a very, very cool shot. You can literally see Earth in the background. Leviathan is massive. As I said, it's a planet eater. It's large, large ship. And then you've got the Scarlet Keep sitting over here on the side. So there's your scale. Now, granted, I thought, honestly, the Leviathan should almost be bigger. Being as it's a planet eater, it would probably be able to swallow the moon and Earth in almost one gulp. But perspective and distance and all that stuff could be different. But Leviathan is massive. Like, that is way, way big. There was an entire multiple raids inside of one ship, and we scratched the surface of it. So it's huge, and you get a tease of the armor down here. There's not too much, but I can tell you the armor, so cool, the armor ornaments this coming season. Literally can't wait.
The pyramid stirs to the Leviathan's call.
So this is the Leviathan, and the whole purple goo on the ground is outside of Calus, who is the main leader of, he was the Cabal Emperor. Basically, Caiatl, who we've been seeing in previous seasons, is his daughter. Not really seeing eye to eye, especially as Cabal, or as Calus is trying to commune with the darkness. Possibly, eventually, again, speculation probably, but my hunch, and that's probably what some people would say as well, he could be attempting to be the next disciple of the Witness, being as he was trying to commune with the darkness. He's going down a very dark path. Caiatl probably doesn't want to go that way, hence the big confusion. So, we've got the big purple stuff on the door.
It manifests our deepest regrets.
Now, these areas are, so the nightmares, depending on if you played Shadowkeep or not, the nightmares are what Eris Morn had to face to kind of overcome her demons per se, but the nightmares are also what got us to almost talk with the darkness the first time in the Garden of Salvation. That's what all these little floating figures are, basically. We're going to get more with regards to the nightmares, but overall, it's very, very cool. Now, all these hallways that look like they're kind of golden ornate, but also overgrown, the Glycon looks exactly like this. It's overgrown with all these little, like, corruption tentacles, basically, all over them. It's very similar, but it's overtaken now Calus's massive ship. And we're at the point of the fact that the corruption is in such a big ship. I have no idea what it's capable of doing in something that large, but it's generally not going to be good. Now, here's a prime example. So if you played the Glycon mission, all these little tendrils and tentacles and attachment kind of gooey things, they were all over the place. But normally this is giant gold ornate covered area. Looks gorgeous. It did in Destiny 1, or in Destiny Year 1 of Destiny 2. Now it's covered in all this crap. So Nightmare Hunt 3.0, probably that idea is coming.
Where once we banished the nightmares.
Now, there's a lot of frames in there, so I gotta slow this down. But basically you can see that is a Scorn on the ground. Scorn have their connection with the darkness, so we know that's actually not good. But as there are frames in here, this is one of them, and I think it comes back to it. And if it gets to this again, we'll get there. But this literal location that you guys can see on screen is where the first Leviathan raid, the first Destiny 2 raid ended. Because you fought Calus, this big dude. He kind of broke because we figured out that Calus was actually a robot, like a shell of Calus, and all of these things on the side are Calus robots because we've never actually seen Calus for real. So this is where you ended up in the previous raid to go pick up your loot, and now where the chest was, there is a portal to go somewhere. So that is the whole thing. Again, very quick moments here where you can see.
A new terror rouses them from their slumber.
So that's that same area that you guys can see previously.
We will...
Now this area was one of the raid encounters. This is where the dogs were actually at. This is the dogs encounter. Because of the trees, the rocks that you would stand on, the light coming down. But again, nightmares are floating all throughout. The fact that we're going to go explore a raid may not sound that exciting because raids are only so big. But the fact that this raid is never been, there's no other raid like this because the ship itself has an entire underbelly that you could explore. That was how you would skip between different encounters. The exploration of the ship is absolutely enormous underneath there, and they could have added even more to it. There's probably going to be more explorable areas. We had multiple different raid layers in there. I doubt we're going to go all the way to those, but still fairly cool. But I assume we're going to be seeing more of the ship than we probably ever had before. It's basically been repolished up for, you know, Destiny 2 Year 5. We're going to see probably more than ever, and it's going to be completely covered by this corruption and floating nightmares as well.
Not cower in fear of nightmares.
All right, so we have Crow on the right, at least when I'm looking at it. So I may point the wrong direction, but I'm looking at my monitor. We've got Crow, we've got Zavala, probably our Guardian right up here, and then Eris Morn in the background. She's got her little green orb of... I still want to know what's in the green orb, but at some point we'll figure it out. And then she's got this little thing, which is explained a little more on the website, but this is some ritual she seems to be doing, because you'll see what she does later. Looks a little terrifying. Now, this is a shot from behind the armor. You can see a little bit of the gold-plated guns. This looks like some of the more underbelly, where we had to go traverse through. They were like big rotating fans. When they spun up, you would actually get blown backwards and killed, so you had to kind of do that as a little puzzle. Very purple area going on.
We will rise.
That's the ritual I was talking about, where she basically goes straight up horizontal in the air and floated with a bunch of candles. Why are candles always part of rituals? I don't know, but definitely a ritual, so I'll be curious to see how that one goes down.
Meet the enemy.
That's the armor. And I'm sorry, I'll show you guys pictures later on. The armor looks awesome. Hunters, you can't see it that well right now, but it looks freaking fantastic. Warlocks, you literally almost look like Death/Hannibal Lecter. That's the Trespasser sidearm on the right. We're going to see that a little bit more. Titans, we're looking chunky, but I got to be honest, it's probably going to grow on me a little bit as the season goes. It's almost got like, it looks almost like Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but not quite. It's like not quite there, but it's got because his is much sharper when I'm picturing like those old 90s movies per se. But generally, I would say he's got the plates on the forearm, the gauntlets and the shoulder pads, and the helm coming down in a point over the eyes. I think it's growing on me from this angle, but he's still a little chonkier and thicker. I love the Hunter and the Warlock. The Titan, I think it's going to grow on me, but we're just going to have to see. Somebody said the Titan helm looks like Arbiter from Halo's. Arbiter vibes on the Titan. So yeah, Arbiter, if you guys know what that is, that will be a very good reference for you. I completely forgot about that. Overall, the armor ornaments is what these are for the season. They look amazing. All of these look so cool. Like, these are going to be a really, really cool set. Now that, most likely 99... So this is the Hunter armor, by the way. So you can see the cloak. You can see basically the side of... It looks like a Skull of Death. Best way I can describe it. And that likely is going to be a trace rifle. There's a couple pictures on the website, and we'll go over that in the other video. This is literally going to be probably a trace rifle. Now, granted, all of the red in the middle, I don't think conveys specifically a damage type. I think it's just because the whole nightmare situation that's going on, and Callus, you got the combination of the gold and the red. Trace rifle that we probably need because we have a legendary solar one. We're probably going to be getting an Arc or a Void. I don't imagine this is Stasis because we do have a Stasis exotic. So Arc or Void trace rifle would be my speculation. Don't read into the red too much because we don't have the other two.
Confront.
Now, going in pieces here, listen to the words and then we're going to look at it.
And confront our darkest fears.
Confront your darkest fears, and then look what each one of them are dealing with.
And confront.
So you got Zavala with, looks like almost Osiris in the background. So that could be one of his biggest fears. You've got Crow, and I can't tell what's going to be in the background for Crow. Could be the Queen, could be something that he's been through. He may be living through something with Uldren. The idea here is basically Crow already has had to deal with some stuff, so now if he's facing something head-on in nightmare fashion, that's really not a good thing for his personality to like stay together and or break.
Our darkest
And
fear.
that little device that she's got here looks to be what is from the weekly story activity. And that's why I think the whole ritual that she goes through, Zavala, Crow, and Crow is definitely involved in the weekly story ritual. And that's where I think we're going to go through and figure out what is going on, what Callus is trying to do. That's the weekly story. So that's the season part.
Our darkest fears with open eyes.
Now this whole area is, can't remember if this is an encounter, Castellum. I think this is the Castellum. This is like the opening mini encounter. But you can see the Titan, like chonky, almost Shredder armor. Warlock looks clean with the helm, and then the Hunter over there, it has kind of a mix of both. Titan is the chonkiest of the three for sure, but we've got the weapon. That's looking kind of like an auto rifle, it feels like, with the clip behind the trigger. Shorter barrel, something along those lines. Again, getting a glimpse of some of these weapons. Crow, dealing with some stuff. Now, here's the other piece. You've got Caiatl in here. So Caiatl's going to have to deal with some nightmares, going to be dealing with probably facing her father. Daddy issues most likely coming into play here. Obviously, Callus is her dad, so I mean, that's very specific. But if you're going to deal with a nightmare, probably going to be hers. Now, as we go a little bit forward, you can see a little bit more. Okay, so couple things. So this is like the new weapon. You've got the gold, you've got the like rippled front with kind of the little breaks in it, and that looks very much like an auto rifle. I can't quite tell what the hunter's holding, but you can see like the cloak covering part of it, but it is truly just a skull mask. It looks so good. And then the Titan or the Warlock over here with like Hannibal Lecter / Death, very cool. I forget the name of the fusion rifle, but that is definitely a fusion rifle from the Menagerie, which was a whole set of weapons, and there's a couple of those on the website as well. So for the Key Knight, we're going to see a couple of those. Titan's a beast. Warlock is clean. Hunter looks literally like Death. Very well done on the armor. Okay, so that's the fusion. What are you firing on the right? So that's the Mida. Oh, that's the mini tool. So that's the Mida mini tool, but kind of the redone version. And then, okay, there's probably one of the better shots of the Warlock. The Warlock looks sick. I'm sorry. Like, you guys, again, great armor looking there. Solar 3.0 is here. There's no question about it. I'll cover it more on the website. But Solar 3.0 is your subclass in case I haven't said it before. It looks very, very cool. Throwing knife, of course. I don't know exactly how that's going to be, but that's got to be like a finisher because it's too clean and too almost casual. It seems like that's almost a finisher. And of course, the Titan getting his hammer back. Now, it's not like a little hammer, bigger hammer. But again, very cool moments there. Now, this has got to be one of those weird moments where the capture team did something very cool. Because I don't know what they're throwing. But when it's shot, it really explodes, like, massively. And this is also taking place in one of the raid encounters. Because these little arrows in the background that you can see. If I can get those little arrows are what you would have to shoot to kind of define where the runner, it was literally a raid encounter, would be jumping through. So this is literally, we're going to be exploring all of the raid encounters, it looks like. Okay, for those of the Key Knight, you're going to recognize a weapon here. That's the Beloved. That's a sniper rifle that your first pursuit weapon was based off of. That is the Beloved. Pretty fancy sniper rifle. Definitely one that I know people are going to be going after. And now with new perks, be curious to see if that one comes up a little bit. And it also looks like the big sledgehammer Titan, the Siege Breaker, I think it's called, got a bit of a tweak because I don't know if you could really jump as much before. Maybe you could. It was the spin and slam, but now he seems to be able to jump and travel.
Begin the harvest.
Oh, hold on. Is that a double hammer? Oh, okay. See, this is how I wonder what they're going to do with Solar 3.0. Because that is straight up a double hammers. 100% confirmed double hammers. I have no idea how that's going to work. Also, by the way, the armor you're seeing here is like soul armor, the same way that they did Void this time around. There's going to be a set of solar armor ornaments, and they look really cool. But yeah, double hammers. I have no idea what that's going to mean. Kind of exciting, though. But yeah, just Solar 3.0. We don't know much, but we just know that's going to be the subclass tweak.
And so you...
Now, I don't know what these little finger guns are here. They're like... It's not... It's like spider web, but it's like finger guns. It's like, pew! And then they just die.
You become an eater of fear.
And then if you want a couple shots, that's probably the best shot I can give you of the Hunter armor. So you got the cool forearm gauntlets, straight up skull with a little bit of a mouth, like chest strap guard down here. And for the other Key Knight, with regards to menagerie weapons, you've got the weapon called Ostringer, and it's like probably going to be another 140 hand cannon. Very popular. Pretty comparable to the IS Luna, so I'll be curious how those two play in the same space. Yeah, so that's your Ostringer. That's the armor. Ostringer, Mida mini tool here as well. Now again, this looks like the Warlock's just little melee thing that he shoots out. That is the exotic glaive on the back. And the new weapon. We have confirmed Trespasser now. The leaks were accurate. This is the Trespasser. Now, the weird thing about the Trespasser I'll cover in the website, definitely has arc involved, but has a question about its normal firing nature.
Magnificent.
Hold on. I gotta back it up just a little bit. That ship could be my favorite ship of all time. Any ship that's got fire to it, but it also looks like the Batwing. Fire Batwing. Must have this ship. I don't know what it takes to get it, but I'm getting it. That's gotta be one of the coolest ships. So yeah, going through the Leviathan. So we're literally getting a destination for a season, by the way. I don't know if that's been clearly explained, but the Leviathan coming back, the fact that we're going to explore multiple raid encounters, the underbelly, which is massive and interconnected maze of craziness, we're getting a destination for a season back. So all of those of you who are wondering what they're doing with all that stuff in the Destiny Content Vault, here's delivery on at least one of those things for a change, which is nice and refreshing, and a very big surprise to get a destination back for a season. This is huge. Now, the reason I say the underbelly, this scene right here guarantees the underbelly. One, because they say it in the website, and two, this is one of the interconnection areas because the trees, the coloring of the lights, and also those kind of like rock structures, but with the like see-through grates in them that you can see over there on that side, very much the underbelly of the Leviathan. And you can see right here the hunter holding the little baby sidearm. That's, I think, called Sturm is the big hand cannon, Drang is the baby sidearm. That's like the menagerie version of it, basically. I can't tell the other two weapons from here, though.
It is.
That's the solar armor. We'll see that more on the website video. I'll go over that. But the solar armor, they did a great job for everybody as well. Caiatl over here dealing with some stuff.
The beginning.
And again, Crow as well. I can't quite tell if he's dealing with himself, which would make some sense since his nightmares are who he probably was before. And yeah, you've got the moon. This looks like her little hideout on... I've literally gone here to pick up bounties and I can't remember the name of it, but she's looking into the mouth of Leviathan. So I'll be very curious if you go visit Eris to pick up bounties. If you turn around and there's a terrifying shot of Leviathan, that's going to be a really insane skybox. Actually, I hope that's there.
The end.
So you got us, Crow, Blurry in the background, Zavala and Caiatl all in the Leviathan. I'm really happy to see that they're putting characters in the story, in the destinations where we're going to be going, actually experiencing what's going on. I cannot wait to see what they do with the story. Oh, and by the way, this is the best part of the trailer. For one, probably one of the coolest shots a hunter's ever going to have. And two, just wait. Okay, so we have from Forsaken, this is a Baron. Obviously very possessed in nightmare form. It's the Machinist. He has a whole bunch of rockets and stuff that shoot up in the air, so he's going to be a bit of a problem. The other awesome part, you have a Fire Scythe. Now, I think the Fire Scythe is going to be involved the same way the Synaptic Spear probably is going to be involved in the encounters that you're doing for the seasonal activity, where like this is what you use to either break a shield or activate something. The same way we use the Synaptic Spear to get rid of Savathun's projections. I don't think this is going to be an actual weapon, even though it's got to be one of the coolest ones in the entire game, looks-wise. I don't think this is going to be a weapon we get to have. I think it's going to be more one of those things you pick up, use for the encounter, and you don't take it with you. But it looks awesome, so we'll finish this up. Yep. So, insanely excited. That crown in the background is the Crown of Sorrow. You've got multiple nightmares around. Obviously, the story centers around Zavala, Crow, and Caiatl. And then, of course, Eris Morn's in there as well, doing her ritual stuff. May 24th to August 23rd. Straight up, like, almost a tight 90, 91 days. I didn't do the math, but it's really close. This is really, really exciting. I will go check the press kit next. But yeah, so this video is going to go up tonight. If you guys are looking for the next video, I'm going to go over pictures from the press kit. If you guys want to see those potentially sometimes consider spoilers. You're also going to see the website and those other things. So stay tuned for that video. I'm just going to try and give a little break between these two and upload that one in the morning, so you got something to watch and look over before the season actually goes live. Everything should go live at about 10 a.m. Pacific time, so I will be streaming around that time as well. Since all of this dropped, I will see you guys, obviously, for all of that. But this looks really, really cool. I look forward to seeing you guys in chat, and it looks like the story is going to be really, really awesome, along with some very, very, very cool looking armor. So if you enjoyed this one, drop a like below. You can find me on Twitch, streaming tomorrow at Ebontis. Find me on Twitter, posting all of the things. And then right here on YouTube, if you haven't subbed, hit that sub button, hit that alert bell. Those of you who are members or Patreon subs, thank you for the extra support. I'll see you soon.